a lot right, and you were surprised at how strong these numbers were.
I was a little bit surprised by the strength out of emerging markets. You know, we've got a lot of news about China slowing down. Latin America has had some problems. Obviously, these are two places where Citigroup has a pretty large presence. But it seemed like credit quality held up relatively well in Asia as well as Latin America for Citigroup. It's obviously a place they're placing a lot of their bets for the future. So it's good to see that they haven't run into any problems there yet.
Yet being the key thing. I mean, what's unique about Citi is their global exposure, 58% of their revenue coming from outside of North America. They're very focused on emerging markets, so how vulnerable are they going forward?
Well, you know, there are pros and cons. Obviously, there's not a lot of room for credit growth in developing markets. If you're a lender in the U.S. and in Europe, there's not a lot of people there looking to borrow. The emerging markets offer the potential for growth going forward, as debt to GDP is still a much smaller percentage there than it is in developing markets. On the other hand, those markets tend to be volatile, and we've seen them slowing down. You know, I said we've seen China and Latin America slowing down. Citi could run into some problems in the near term. That said, they're so much more well capitalized than they were a few years ago. They should be able to handle any problems.
You mentioned China. They talked about and acknowledged the slowdown in China's economy on the call. They're not changing their emerging market strategy, though. Is that the right move?
I think so. You know, it's the right move for the long term. You know, the U.S., other developed markets are. Our credit is maxed out and we're getting older. Emerging markets have a lot of room to borrow still, and you know, a very young growing population. I think that's where economic growth is going to be in the future. That's where they have to go, even if it causes some problems in the near term.